What is up, you guys, and welcome back into a new LEGO custom minifigure showcase. In this week, we will be doing Miss Marvel for our showcase today. And this was a fun series, not fun to watch, but fun to build figures for. Like, build figures for Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Bruno was a good one. The Red Dagger was a good one. Aisha is up there too. But they were also harder to make than the normal figures I've done. But let's get into it. So first up we have Casual Kamala from the first episode, which I'm going to do this showcase in appearance of the episode. So first we have Kamala, and I've used black legs, the torso, and arms from Peter Parker, because it shows his spider thing, and since she's a fan of, like, superheroes, I thought that did a nice touch, like she'd be wearing a superhero shirt under her jacket. And I used the head and hands from MJ from the No Way Home set or Far From Home set. And I used the long black hair, which comes on a lot of figures, I believe. It comes, where I got it is from Katie from the Shang-Chi movie, so that's nice. And yeah, that is Casual Kamala. Next up we have Kamala's brother, Amir. I used the head from Doctor Strange, the torso and arms and hands from Filch from Harry Potter, those black legs, which I use a lot, and just the Superman here in black to finish him out. And I think it turned out really good for Amir. Next we have Yusuf. I used the torso from Dudley from Harry Potter. I used white arms, tan hands, and some light blue legs that kind of look like gray legs, but I can assure you they are light blue. And I used the head from Dumbledore to give him the beard with glasses, and I think he turned out really well. Next up we have Kamala's mother, and I used black legs, the torso flipped around from Joyce Byers with the arms from that as well, and I used the head and hands from, actually, come to think of it, I don't know where that came from. I think it came from Cho Chang, maybe? I'm not sure, but I used the hair from Katie from the Shang-Chi sets to round her out. And yeah, I don't know where the head came from, but yeah, that's interesting. Next up we have the tech genius Bruno, and he was a really cool character. He's probably my favorite character in this show, because I thought he just was really funny and cool and stuff. I used some dark blue legs, the torso and arms from Lego City, and some tan hands, and then the head from Han Solo in Carbonite, and trying to stand him up straight. And I used the hair from Star-Lord or Captain America. Just that wavy blonde kind of hair that I like to use on a lot of figures, and I think it made sense here. Next we have Nakia, who wears a hijab through most of the season, and it's hard to make a hijab because Lego doesn't create many pieces that look like that. So what I used is a red scarf from Joey from the Friends Apartment set when he wears too much clothes. And I used the cap piece from one of the winter figures. I used a head there from Harry Potter character. I used the torso flipped around from Lego City, some green arms, tan hands, and some black legs to round her out, and a very, not hard figure to make, but difficult in its own way. So that is Nakia. Next up we have Mr. Wilson. I used the torso, arms, and hands from Dumbledore from the Hogwarts Great Hall set. I used the legs which I don't know why I say I use the legs. They're just plain old black legs. You can find them in a lot of places. And I use the head from Owen Grady from the 2015 line of Jurassic World sets. And I use the hair from one of the characters, I believe it was from Falcon. I think it's appeared there. It's appeared a lot of places. I just don't know. I think it's appeared on Finn from Star Wars, but I don't remember at this moment. So let's move on to the next figure. Next up, we have Zoe Zimmer. I used the head and hair from Claire Deering to give her that like smirk she had. I gave her the torso, arms, and hands from a Star Wars Rebel agent, and I used some blue legs just to add some more detail on there. And I think she turned out really good, really well for a figure. And she kind of had a leopard print, but if you were like trying to make a stop motion video and you wanted to have her like, say you wanted to have her from at the end of the season when she doesn't wear that, you can use her you can use this outfit to give her a jacket if you wanted to, so you didn't have to deal with the leopard print the whole time. Next up, we have Kamala from AvengerCon. I used red legs, the torso from Falcon, because when I looked at this for the first time in the first episode, I was like, that torso would look really good for her, so I used it there. I used some dark red arms, some darkish nougat hands. I don't know what you could call them, but I used the Captain Marvel helmet and hairpiece because, the hairpiece just can pop off and you can have like Red Guardian. You can make a Red Guardian custom out of this, but I used the head under there from MJ, which I think looks really well for Miss Marvel. Not Miss Marvel, Miss Marvel. I don't know why I thought she wasn't Miss Marvel, but anyway, that is her. And if you wanted her to have her Bengal look, which she did have, you can put this gold ring on there from Shang-Chi in the Ten Rings movie. And then you can put the hand on there and she can have her Bengal that she has in the show when she saves Zoe from falling. So I think she looks good as a Lego figure for her homemade suit, we could call it. Next up, we have Zoe from AvengerCon. I used some dark blue legs, the torso, arms, and hands from comic Captain Marvel, the head from Stargirl from the CMF series for DC, and I used the hairpiece from Claire Deering to round her out. And we're flying through the showcase pretty fast, but we still got a lot of figures, so let's keep moving right along. And at the end of the episode, we get our first look at Agent Clearly. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's Clearly, but don't know for sure. I used the torso, arms, hands, and legs all from Agent Coulson, because obviously he's an agent for damage control. And I used the head there from Poe Dameron, because he had a beard. He didn't really have a beard. I don't know what you would call that. It's not a beard, I don't think. It's something like that. It's like a fade shave kind of thing. And I used the hair from Bruce Wayne from the Lego Batman movie to round the figure out because I think that design looked really nice for him. Next we have Kamran, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. Karam. I don't know how I think it's Kamran, but I don't know. He was an interesting character to say the least in this show. I used some tan hands, some dark blue legs, the torso flipped around from the old J. Jonah Jameson figure. Put some black arms on that because it had white arms. And I used the head from Bucky Barnes. And then I put the hair on there from T'Challa Star-Lord or Falcon from the CMF series. Both of them come from that. You could use the Superman hair if you'd want to, but I think that hair looks the most accurate. Next up, we have Agent Deaver. I used some black legs, the torso, arms from Nick Fury, some tan hands, the head from Captain Marvel from the 2020 Avengers line of sets that came with this same torso, you know what I'm talking about? And then I used, well, basically that's it for the figure. A really simple figure. I guess you'd need maybe 3 figures to build it. Not that hard, but I don't think it looks exactly like her, but I was just trying to get the overall design of her down, which I think I captured well. So yeah, that is Agent Deaver. Next up, we have Najma. And to build her, I used some black legs. The torso flipped around from Peter Parker with that dark gray shirt. And it's kind of a jacket, so I turned it around to make it like a knitted jacket, kind of. I put some hands in the head from Catwoman from the Batman, the Batman movie, and I used the hair on there from Katie from Shang-Chi, which I use that hair a lot. It's not just from that figure. It's come on other figures, but that's what I use for Katie. I mean, not Katie, Najma. I just get confused with that Katie sometimes. Next up, we have Kamala from The Wedding. I used the torso and arms from Wanda from the Avengers compound set, The Final Battle. I used the skirt piece from Petunia Pig, some black legs, the hair from the Katie figure from Shang-Chi. But like I said, it doesn't just come on that figure, it comes on a lot of figures, but that's just where I think of it the most. It's also come on Monica from the Friends Apartments, but anyways, I used some hands in the head from MJ, and that is her. And I think she looks pretty decent. I don't know why I decided to make the wedding the wedding characters, but I just think they look decent outfits to make, so that's what I did there. Next up, we have Bruno from The Wedding. I used the torso, arms, and hands from the Penguin from the Batman movie from this year. I used some black legs, the head from Han Solo and Carbonite, and then the hair comes from Star-Lord or Captain America. So that is Bruno from The Wedding. Next up, we have is Kareem. I used the legs from Lucy from the Lego Movie 2, the torso from Black Widow with that zipped up kind of green jacket he had on. I used some dark green arms, some black hands, a dagger piece from Drax to give him his red dagger. I would color it red, but I could not find a red Sharpie. I used the head from one of the characters, like a Nacho Libre character from Batman, and I used the hair from Superman, maybe? Lex Luthor? No, Lex Luthor doesn't have hair. I don't know where it came from. It came on Bruce Wayne, maybe, but some person like that. But drop it in the comments below if you know where that hair and head came from, because I'm actually not sure about the head. Next up, we have Aisha, which was from the flashbacks. I used the legs, torso, arms from Katie from Shang-Chi. I used the black hair from Gamora. I used the head and hands from Catwoman from the Batman movie that came with Catwoman on her motorcycle. And yeah, that is her. Next up, we have Hassan. I used some dark brown legs, the torso, arms, and hands from George Weasley from the CMF Series 2 of Harry Potter. I used the head from, I want to say, one of the Jurassic World characters. And I used the Superman hairpiece in black. And I don't know where that face, I think that face is from Jurassic World. I'm not positive about it, but I'm thinking it is. So that is Hassan. Next up, we have Miss Marvel in her final suit. And to see her suit up in that final suit, it was kind of really cool to see that. We've been waiting for that all season. To build her, I do not have the Miss Marvel figure from the new wave of Spider-Man sets, so couldn't use that torso, which I'm kind of sad about, and I don't have the correct goggles. I don't have goggles for her. Well, that kind of sucks, but we can do good with what we have. So what I used here is some dark red arms, the hands and head from MJ, the hair from Katie from Shang-Chi, the torso and hip piece from Captain Marvel to give her that kind of design on the torso. I used the legs from the Falcon figure, I believe, that came with the wings and stuff that came with this torso. But yeah, she was really difficult to build. And to give her bangle, I just gave her the piece from Shang-Chi in the 10 Rings. And I used, to make her little like cape thing, what you actually do is you take a cape piece and you fold it over. It's kind of hard to do on camera, but you fold it over and put it over the side you want, which is this side. I don't know which side it would be to you guys, but you just put it on, and then you put the head on, and then the hair on, and then it has like that little like half cape she has. You kind of have to tuck it in because it likes to like pop out, so you have to put the hair on there to make sure it doesn't pop out. But that is Miss Marvel, and let's get on to our last figure. And our last figure we have is Captain Marvel. What an amazing surprise. She was a big fan of Captain Marvel. Sadly, she didn't meet her. She swapped places with hers. Can't wait to see them meet each other in the Marvels movie. That is going to be a really epic movie with them two in it. Now that Kamala finally learned her powers and stuff. Man, that's going to be a great movie. It's going to be like Spider-Man and Tony Stark, something like that. I think they're going to have that bond of like girl superheroes, and I just can't wait to see it. Or maybe they might hate each other, and it'll be like Never Meet Your Heroes, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. But to build her and stop dilly-dallying over here, I used some dark blue legs, the torso and head from Captain Marvel, the hair from the Friends line of sets, which you can tell it's the Friends because it looks like not a hard plastic, and if you like, you can squish it, and if you squish the Lego hair pieces, they'll break, so that's how you can tell it's not that. And I used some black hands and then the arms from Lego Dimensions from one of the Adventure Time minifigures. I do not know his name. I think I don't know it actually. I don't even want to guess because I'll probably be way off, but that was the showcase, so let's round this out. And that was my showcase on Miss Marvel. It was okay. I would rank it probably my second least show. Hawkeye was probably my least show. I didn't like watching that really. Moon Knight was okay, but Falcon and Winter Soldier has to be my favorite. What If was also a really good one, but anyways, let me know what you thought of this showcase in the comments below. And do you hope they make another season of this? Or do you hope it just goes right to the Marvels movie? That movie will be really exciting. But anyways, Hope to see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This has been another presentation from Otterbricks Studios, and see you guys in the next one. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Goodbye.